everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Prasenjit Paul from Innova Solutions. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you for this opportunity. Looking forward to this discussion.
Of course, as am I. So first off, let's look at the industry quite broadly. What are the latest trends in aviation technology that you think is going to shape the future of the industry?
So if you look at the aviation right now, there is a lot going on, from a proof of technology, if you will, they are looking at sustainable, energy. So right from the engines, Rolls-Royce are looking at hybrid kind of engines, If you look at airlines like United, they are investing into liquid fuel, So sustainability is a big thing. And also besides that, they are looking at how to redesign the aircrafts, So again, United has partnered with like Jet Zero, to have a blended wings, which is supposed to give them 50% of the fuel saving. So sustainable is a big mantra for in the aviation industry, for the airlines as well. Then you look at the airports. There's a big transformation happening at the airports. From a customer experience or the guest experience standpoint. Bringing in the digital twin kind of technology in it. Because you cannot envisage all these scenarios. So having a digital twin, envisaging this, modernizing the airport, bringing in the guest experience, there's a lot happening in that space. Followed with the data and analytics, in terms of predictive maintenance, so a lot of AI-based work is happening in that area, both in terms of airline operations, to predict what can go wrong, to train the staff, from an AI standpoint. So the aviation industry as such is going through a lot of these initiatives, if you will, besides the customer experience as well, at the end of the day, to bring in how much you can give back to the guest, from an experience standpoint.
Absolutely. And when you started the discussion about airlines, sustainability, of course, is a huge challenge, and that is necessitating a lot of innovation. Another thing airlines are battling with, on a slightly different standpoint, is that passengers seem to be less dedicated to a specific airline. They're having to jostle a little bit more for that loyalty. What strategies have you seen airlines employ to improve their customer retention?
Absolutely. So they have started calling their passengers as guests. So that's the first thing, if you think about the hospitality industry, they address the customers as guests, So they were bringing in the guest experience. So the touch point is becoming very important. The ancillary services are very important to them. So loyalty, if you look at the airline sector, now they are giving in terms of, hey, how do you redeem your loyalty? You can use it for hotels, you can use it for car rentals, you can use it for vacation purposes, because guess what, if they can repurpose the seat, because that's where they make the money. But if they can have it with the merchandise store, that's another downward integration. So there's a lot of effort being put in to understand the customer sentiments, the customer behavior, So there's a good amount of focus on that ancillary services. And if you look at any of the airlines, the revenue that they drive from the ancillary services is a huge percentage now. And they do not want to lose that. In fact, what they are trying to do is bring in much more customized kind of a offering to the guest. What is important for one would maybe different for somebody else, So the customer insights are becoming much more important.
Absolutely. And building on the concept of insights, how important do you think data and analytics and leveraging this data to its full potential is going to be for the future of the industry?
Oh, it's a lot, If you look at both in the aviation sector, both at the airports and the airlines, I think the biggest element is the data governance part of it. What element of data can be inside the wall and what can be outside it, So data governance is playing a very important role in that, because from an AI-driven element, if you look at it, it is the customer experience, it is the dynamic pricing. If you think of it, they are looking at it in terms of the crew scheduling, because that's a very complex element again, in the airline sector. So a lot of these mundane tasks, if you will, are from an AI standpoint would be automated going forward.
Fantastic. So lots of efficiency gains to be made there as
Absolutely, absolutely. Each and every airline and aviation sector is now looking at the areas where they can use AI. It is the data governance element which is more trickier.
Fantastic. And then thinking about Innova Solutions more specifically, what's going on in terms of partnerships and upcoming opportunities there?
I would like to, proudly say that at Aviation Festival, we signed a partnership deal with SITA, and SITA is known in the aviation sector for its services across the airports, its railroad, transit, and of course cruise lines. So Innova is proudly associated with SITA in the partnership to bring these services, leading with AI-driven kind of mindset.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on the partnership, and great to hear that the signing took place at the event.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, so great to catch up with you.